Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to the School of Science. My name is Luke and this is the match preview for Everton vs Chelsea. Now, this game is going to be a very interesting one, to tell you the God's honest truth. Just for the fact that Chelsea are absolutely flying high at the moment. They've currently won all of their previous 5 games and I believe they got like a plus. Well, they've scored 16. I think they've conceded about 6 or 7 off the top of my head. But overall, Chelsea they're certainly a threat right now. So with this game, but the thing is though, this is potentially a game where we can actually sort of turn a bit of a corner, because as we know, the Freaking Group have taken over Everton now, so up the Freaking Toffees. But yeah, with Freaking Group actually taking over, hopefully this might be a little bit of a turn of things, you know. Hopefully this might be a little bit of an uplift for the players. So like, right, Freaking Group, it's new owner and all that. This is my opportunity to sort of seal a new contract with the club, show that I'm actually a really good player. I'm this, I'm that. It could be one of those sort of moments where Everton actually have like a bit of an uplift when it comes to the squad. And this could even be a chance for Dice to say, right, either I'm going to try and keep my job, or basically I know this boat's already sunk, but for my next employers, I want to make sure that they can see that I'm a reliable and good manager. It's one of those sorts of situations. That is getting on my nerves, that. The camera is actually slightly on an angle. Like that. There we go. It's still on an angle, but it's not as bad. If you're wondering what's going on, I've got my phone right now in front of me. I'm experimenting with the phone because, bear in mind, my phone is actually a bigger sensor than the webcam that I've got behind me. And I can use this little fella right here, so I can actually move across the room and everything. I can go all the way over here, and you guys can still hear me as good as if I'm right in front of you. But yeah, back to business. So when it comes to this squad, we could actually have a little bit of a turn in regards for the better, just for the fact that the squad might actually view things a bit more optimistically. So they could think, right, new owner, new opportunities. Let's try and make this one a good game. On top of that, it's on the home turf. I know the fans will definitely be behind it. We're going to be a lot more vocal. We're going to be a lot louder. We're going to be a lot happier. Just the fact that there is a light at the end of the tunnel now. And like I said, I'm going to go back to the manager again. So I'm hoping that the manager looks at this and thinks, right, this is my opportunity to either, cement myself with the club a bit better, or, if that ship's already sailed, that I am going to get sacked at some point. I better make sure that I put a good performance in and make sure that the next employers who come in, the next employers who come for me know that I'm a decent manager and I can actually secure a job rather quickly. Because let's put it like this, let's say for argument's sake you were working with a company and you knew there was layoffs coming on, you'd try and actually make sure that you leave on a good note with the employers. You're going to make sure that you can get a good reference with the employer, so that your next job, you're going to get something from it. And it's not going to be a situation of, okay, I'm going to end up having to bloody drag myself and go further down the chain and end up getting, instead of going for like another Premier League team, ending up at a League One team or a League Two team, or going somewhere where, like an Irish, like a Republic of Ireland team. Don't get me wrong, Republic of Ireland teams are great, but you can see where I'm coming from. Instead of going to the creme de la creme of the next stage, you end up going down and you end up having to scrape by, going on to a lower wage and doing a lot of things like that. But yeah, in regards to this Chelsea team though, like I said, they're flying high at the moment. They're currently 5-5. They're going to be missing Cucurella and another player. I'm going to put his name here. He is actually suspended at the moment. But to be honest, that's not going to change that team all too much. I mean, their attacking force and the likes of, Neto, Palmer, Jackson, those guys are absolutely flying high at the moment. They are scoring for fun. And the Chelsea team is solid. They are absolutely solid right now. Like I said, they're scoring goals for fun. One of the last games I watched where they were playing against Tottenham. They went down 2-0 in the first half because Cucurella had a couple of moments there where I think it was his boots. He had a set of boots that he had on, and they were meant to be the first time wearing them, and they were terrible for the pitch that he had. They were basically meant to be mixed ground boots that are meant to be used for soft and firm turf, but they were getting ripped. The turf was ripping up under them, and he couldn't get a grip, and he ends up slipping twice to end up making a couple of serious blunders to lead to a couple of goals. change of boots, changed all that. Basically, the defence then become absolutely rock solid. And from there, they just absolutely made Tottenham a fool. Goal after goal after goal after goal. So, hopefully, we're able to soak something up. Like I said, we know that Sean Dyche is defensive manager. He's going to play with defence in mind. So how it's going to operate is he's going to have pretty much like a dual defence system. So you're going to have a back four, that being probably most likely Mykolenko, Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Ashley Young, with a midfield five, that being, if Dwight McNeil's fit, Dwight McNeil, Iliman Ndiaye, or Mangala, Idrissa Gueye, and either Lindstrom or Harrison. I mean, he could end up doing, McNeil on the right, Iliman Ndiaye on the left, with Decore in the middle. I would recommend against that, just for the fact that Decore does better away from home, and at the moment he's not doing too great. He seems to be getting outpaced at the moment, and don't get me wrong, he's doing all right with the ball, but he's just not being progressive with it. So in that situation, myself, I would do a McNeil, Iliman Ndiaye, Oriol Mangala, Idrissa Gueye, and Jesper Lindstrom, or Jack Harrison. So let's see, that's McNeil, Ndiaye, Mangala. Yeah, that's five in the midfield with one up front. More than likely that's going to be Calvert-Lewin. We won't be seeing Armando Broja because he is actually on loan from Chelsea, so he is not going to be in this game at all. So it's either going to be Calvert-Lewin or Beto starting up front. Most likely it's going to be Calvert-Lewin. And then from there, it's literally just going to be like what we did with Arsenal. Soak up the attack and try and counter. The only problem is, though, as we know, the Everton squad we've got at the moment, it just lacks a bit of speed. We do need a bit of speed in that squad, and come January, I'm hoping we get that. I definitely think we need another left back. I know Mykolenko's doing all right at the moment, but in regard to left backs and everything like that, we need a secondary one or someone who is going to overtake Mykolenko. We need something with a bit of competitiveness, because right now he's doing great, but once he gets injured, we're going to have an issue there, because we can put Ashley Young on the left, but that's not his natural position, and then we put Patterson or even Rowan Dixon on the right, or Coleman. But there's it's holes that we can't really be affording to trying to, DIY fill at this point in time. We do need a left back, we need a right midfielder, we need another striker desperately. I do think Beto's probably going to either go out on loan or he's going to get sold. Likewise with Calvert-Lewin, I've got a feeling in the very back crevice of my mind that he might actually go out. And I mean, to be honest, I know at the moment, looking at our surface score, Chimiti and McNeil are a doubt, so there could even be a chance that we end up, using Chimiti more. So we could, let's say, for argument's sake, further down the line in January, let's say we've loaned out Beto and we've sold Calvert-Lewin. We would probably end up with a new manager, an attack-minded manager. You could end up having let's think of this, a 3-5-2 sort of formation. I had to think about that for a second. So it would be, let's say for argument's sake, you have Jared Branthwaite on the left, Jake O'Brien on the right, Tarkowski as the rock centre, obviously as a captain, and then you could have Mykolenko as a left wing back, or even look at getting Dwight McNeil as a left wing back, because he can do well at that sort of position. And then on the right, you could have Roman Dixon or Nathan Patterson as your right wing back. Then in the middle, you'd have, Idrissa Gueye, he's getting a bit old now, so you could even look at another number 6. So, as a hypothetical, let's say we have Oriol Mangala. We have him as our core in the midfield as the number 8. And then from there, you're going to have another 2. You have another 2, yeah, because you've got And then you would have Iliman Ndiaye, and who else can we utilise? I could probably say Lindstrom, so you could have a dual number 10 system. Because Ndiaye, he likes to come back and forth, so he's an 8 coming into a 10. So you could have him alongside Lindstrom. So say to them, right, you two are basically number 10s. So you can operate with that, and then up top you could have Chimiti and Broja. Why not? That, in my mind, that's a very attack-minded sort of performance with the ability to come back and become a rock-solid defence. Because going up, it's 3 at the back. Coming back, it can very quickly become 6 at the back, with the likes of McNeil, Patterson or Dixon, and Mangala coming back and making a double-layered defence. It works like that. But like I said, we do need someone who can operate on the right with a bit of pace. So there's plenty out there. I mean, we could end up going back to Noto. We could end up looking abroad. I mean, hell, Real Sociedad have a good lad there called Kubo. He's got a very bloody price tag on him with about 50 million. But there's nothing to say that the freaking group, when they come in, they release Daesh of his duties. They say to him, right, mates, we appreciate what you've done. Unfortunately, you're just not going in the direction that we want the football club to progress in. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to release you of your contract, pay you out, and then from there, potentially look at, either we could get David Moyes back in. He won't go on a short-term contract. It would be nice to see him on a short-term contract, but I don't see it happening. Or we could end up looking and saying, right, we could raid one of the other squads in the Prem. We could buy out, say, Thomas Frank's contract. We could get Graham Potter in. I don't know whether they go for Mourinho. He's too headstrong. He's very much how can I put it? He's a deluxe version of Rafa Benitez. He's one of them where if you don't play his play style, you ain't getting into the squad. He has a very particular style of play. And if you don't fit that, you're basically left out cold. You're going to basically warm the bench. You're going to not even be in the squad. So I don't see that happening. I would expect to potentially see Daesh back. David Moyes back, because he's currently with our club. Graham Potter potentially could come in. Or even Thomas Frank. Now, bear in mind, with the freaking group, I know a lot of people are thinking, but if we get one of these players, we'll get one of these managers in, they have to be with us for over a year or so. No. That's not going to be the case. With the freaking group, they are very cutthroat when it comes to management. They will get rid of a manager inside of about 12 games if you're not pulling your weight. Let's say, for argument's sake, if you win 3-12, let's say, and you draw. So let's say you win 3-12, you draw 3-12, and you've lost 6. To them, that's a massive red flag. They will not have that. They will release you of your contract. And the chances are, inside the contract somewhere, they will have it set up so that they basically turn around and say, if you're underperforming, your contract will be terminated and you will get X amount less than our agreed amount if your contract was to be bought, or whether you leave on mutual consent. They could have something like that. I know what Americans are like. They're very, very clever when it comes to this sort of stuff. But yeah, overall, I'm expecting it to be a very good game tomorrow. The weather's not exactly playing on our side. It's going to be a windy day out there. So things are not going to be very plain sailing, but I hope this could potentially work into our favour. There's many, many, many ways that this can come out. I mean, we could end up walking away with another 0 or draw. We could get absolutely bounced pillar to post and end up losing 4-0. Or, you never know, we could end up walking away with a win. The opportunities there at this point in time. This is probably one of the best times for us right now to be taking on a top team, because things are very uncertain, but they're very, very uncertain in a positive sort of way, if you get where I'm coming from. And to be honest, I am excited. I'm excited to see what the club actually pulls out tomorrow. I've been looking at the training videos and there's a little bit more of an up about it. But yeah, I'm also going to, at some point in the near future, I'm going to try and do a very in-depth sort of talk about the freaking group, the guys who are actually in the club right now, and what could potentially transpire in the future. We could have a look at it with, like I said, the freaking group. They're a very ambitious sort of firm. So I'm interested to see what they actually offer to the table in the near future. But anyway, guys, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Apologies for not getting the drone out as of late. If anyone here is based in the Merseyside region, you know right now that this weather is shocking. To say the very least, it is bad out there at the moment. I swear I've seen trampolines flying around. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hope you enjoy the game tomorrow. Take care, up the freaking trophies, and have a great day. Peace.